I want to speak with you today about how to access more happiness in your life. The secret is simple. Everything you think you know about happiness, kiss it goodbye. Kiss it goodbye. That's because there's a lot we get wrong about happiness, mainly that it's the most important ingredient for living a good and meaningful life. It's not. Now, before you ask yourself, what kind of psychiatrist is Gregory Scott Brown, and what's with the stuffed animal? Just indulge me for a few minutes, because if you're anything like me, and your life is a beautiful mismatch of good days and not so good days, hang with me because you never know. This talk could change your life. Let's begin with the story. A few years ago, I met with a patient. Let's say he was a man in his late 40s, a CFO of a successful company, and a graduate of an Ivy League university. He told me he had the perfect job, the perfect family, and really the perfect life. But his biggest fear was that decades from now, he would look back on his life and realize that he had spent his time, as he put it, being sad. "What are you hoping to get from our time together?" I asked him. "I just want to be happy," he said. "I just want to be happy." Now, as a psychiatrist, you can imagine that that's a statement that I hear pretty often. I just want to be happy. Sometimes it's several times a month. Sometimes it's a couple times within a given day. But something about this particular man, whether it was his somber tone or the cadence of his words or the timing of his requests or even where I was in my own life, resonated with me deeply. You see, at that time in my life, I was waking up every morning and putting on a clean shirt and a big smile and living my life. But I wasn't happy either. And like many of my patients who aren't happy, and perhaps even like you, I had a legitimate reason not to be happy. I was going through a divorce. "I just want to be happy," my patient said to me, while the voice in my head pleaded, "Yeah, I just want to be happy too." So around that time, it also occurred to me that psychiatrists don't really spend a lot of time studying happiness in medical school or residency. There is no required coursework in Happiness 101. So I decided to dive more deeply into the art and science of happiness. First, what is happiness? Happiness is a feeling. That's easy. This is important. Happiness is a feeling that produces excitement, joy, and pleasure. We hear about happiness on podcasts and interviews and stories. Best-selling authors have been writing about happiness for decades. I'm not the first person to give a TED Talk on happiness, and I probably won't be the last either. But when many of us think about happiness, what we're really thinking about is something called hedonic happiness. That's excitement, joy, and pleasure. Or if you want some science from the doctor, it's dopamine release from the nucleus accumbens in your brain. Hedonic happiness is the feeling you get on your wedding day. It's the feeling you get when you have your first child, especially if you wanted to have a child. It's the feeling you get when you had that big promotion at work and the feeling of finally being able to retire. Happiness is like a drug that can feel incredible. You want more and more and more of it. And when you don't have it, you can feel like something is missing. You can feel terrible. You can even feel depressed. Believe me, I know. So it makes sense why scholars and other really smart people have tried to answer the question, how do we live a happier life? There are several credible theories. The Harvard study of adult development, the world's longest scientific study on happiness, concluded that connections, friendships, relationships, these are the keys to happiness. Others have said that the secret to happiness is love. And others have said that the key to happiness is living a healthy lifestyle. But let's get real. I've never had someone come up to me and say, I don't care about friendships. I don't care about love. I don't care about health. I think most people are trying to do their best. And the truth is, you can be a really good friend and still struggle with friendships. When it comes to love, some people try to rush it, thinking that love offers the shortest path to happiness, when, in fact, true love is something that often happens when you least expect it. And I'm all about living a healthy lifestyle, but there are some unhappy vegans and triathletes out there too. Yeah. My point is, even if you follow the typical prescriptions for happiness, you still may not get it. So how about trying a different approach? Does anyone know what this is? This is not just a stuffed animal here. This is a special stuffed animal. This is an emotion plushie, okay? Now, I'm veering a little bit off topic, but when I told my wife, Taylor, that I was bringing my plushie, she said I should title this talk, "It's Okay to Be Weird." Okay? So maybe, I mean, it really is, but maybe we'll do that for the next TED Talk. This is an emotion plushie. It has two sides, okay? It has a yellow side. And it has a red side, okay? Now, think of this plushie as representing life, all right? So the yellow side can represent life is good, all right? Things are going your way. Everything is falling into place, all right? And the red side is life is not so great, right? You're enduring some challenges, some hardships here, okay? Now, if you haven't already, I want you to pay close attention to the expression on the plushie's face, okay? Life is good. Isn't that a beautiful smile, right? The plushie is happy, okay? Now, life is not so good, and now look at the plushie. The plushie is unhappy. In fact, the plushie looks a little cranky to me, yeah? All right? Now, this may seem like a silly metaphor, but one of the many, many lessons I've learned from the thousands of patients I've worked with is this, the plushie phenomenon. This is what tends to happen. When life is good, we're good. When things are going our way, we're happy. When life is not so good, we're not so good, right? We are unhappy. But what if I told you that regardless of whether or not life was yellow or red, regardless of whether things in your life are going as they should or as you expected or not, regardless of the circumstances in your life, you could still live a good and meaningful life? Well, I'm here to tell you that that's possible, but you have to kiss happiness goodbye and aim for something even greater. You have to kiss happiness goodbye and aim for fulfillment. Fulfillment stems from Aristotle's concept of eudaimonia. Eudaimonia is all about flourishing, self-realization, and living true to your values. Fulfillment is important because the most valuable asset you possess is not your money. As much as it pains me to say, it's not education. It's not friendships or relationships or love or even health. The most valuable asset you possess is time. And fulfillment helps you make the most of your time. There are three characteristics to fulfillment: being okay with who you are, being grateful for what you have, and being optimistic about the future. And unlike happiness, fulfillment is not a feeling. Fulfillment is a state of being. Fulfillment is the way to hope. Well, all right, Dr. Brown, fulfillment, that's easier said than done. You're right, totally. I said the secret was simple. I didn't say it was easy. But some research is on my side here too, because studies indicate that overvaluing happiness actually makes us less happy. Think about it. This means that if happiness is the most important thing in your life, and you happen to be navigating an unhappy season, that's exactly how you're going to feel: unhappy. But during an unhappy season, despite how you feel, having a fulfillment-based mindset will carry you through. Now, fulfillment isn't something that you ever completely achieve or capture. Fulfillment is more like a North Star that guides you through good days and not so good days. Eventually, my patient was able to shift his attention towards fulfillment. And I'd like to think that I played a small role in helping him do that. Today, fulfillment is my North Star as well. Perhaps like you, my life is still a beautiful mismatch of good days and not so good days, but I'm okay with who I am, grateful for what I have, and optimistic about the future. And that is my wish for you as well. Now, the cherry on top of this short and sweet idea is when you kiss happiness goodbye and focus on fulfillment, you'll probably find yourself experiencing more happiness along the way. Thank you.